Okay, so one way that we can use to find true north if we haven't got a compass is to use shadows. So I've got a nice tall pole here. I've used a walk-in pole, but you could use a stick as long as it's nice and firmly in the ground. And it needs to be fairly tall, particularly if it's in the middle of summer, because you get pretty short shadows. So what we're going to do is I put it in the ground where I can see the end of the shadow, and I'm going to put a little pebble just at the end of where the shadow is. This one does take a bit of patience because we've now got to wait a little while until that shadow moves. Okay, so it's been just over an hour and there's our original stone and our shadow has moved over here. So put a second stone there. Okay, and the line between these two stones goes from east to west. Okay, so if I line up two stones, that pole is now pointing east to west. So north is perpendicular, so at right angles to that pole that we've just put down. Okay, we can give that a check because I did actually remember my compass. And that's not too bad, given that we've just used a stick, a couple of pebbles, and another couple of poles to make our right angle. That's enough if we're completely lost. So the next way that we can find north if we don't have a compass is to use a watch and the position of the sun. So again, it's one that could be used in daytime, but it doesn't have to be quite as bright as using the shadow stick method. Okay, so ideally you want an analog watch, but if you don't have one, then you can improvise. If you've only got a digital watch but you do know the time, then you can improvise by drawing a little analog watch face on a piece of paper. So I know that it's about 20 past 4, so all I need is the hour hand. So I'm going to draw the hour hand on my piece of paper, and the south-north line is going to be halfway between the angle, halfway along the angle between my hour hand and either 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Now whether it's 12 or 1 depends on whether we're in Greenwich Mean Time or British Summer Time. Okay, so you need to know what you're in. So if it's summer, you'll be in British Summer Time and you want to go to the 1 o'clock position. If it's in the winter, then of course you'll be going between that and the 12 o'clock position. So it's summer at the moment, so my angle is going to be halfway between 1 o'clock and just past 4. So my north-south line will be, when I orientate this in the right direction, will be halfway between those two. Now to actually orientate that into the right direction, what I want to do is point my hour hand at the sun. Now you can't see on camera, but I've done that, so the sun is from this direction. I'll point my hour hand at the sun, and I've then got the direction of my north-south line. Now to determine which of those is north and which is south, then the sector nearest to the sun is going to be south. So obviously in the northern hemisphere, the sun is always going to be to the south at some angle. Okay, so what that means, with our hour hand pointing to the sun, you can see now that the sun's come out, you can see my shadow, that's where the sun's coming from. With our hour hand pointing there, halfway between our hour hand and 1 o'clock, we bisect that angle and we get a north-south line, and that means that north will be in this direction. Okay, and we'll get the compass, which more or less agrees. Now again, this is not going to be the most accurate method in the world, but it will do you in a pinch. Okay, you can even, if you don't have a pen and a bit of paper, you could draw in the dirt. Now I don't have any dirt to draw in, so I've just got a piece of chalk on my decking. Okay, you have to work backwards a little bit with this because I can't move this like I can move a piece of paper, but my sun's coming from this way. So there's my hour hand. I've now got to check what the time is, so it's about 4:30, and I then have to judge where my 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock position would be. So if that's 4 o'clock, it's going to be 3, 2, 1, 12-ish. Okay, actually my 1's probably more like that, and therefore my south is going to be that way. So it looks pretty much like my piece of paper, but if all I had was a stick and a bit of mud, there we are, that's more or less pointing in the right direction. So that's method number 2. Okay, the final way that we're going to go through to find north if we don't have a compass is to simply orientate our map. Now this of course means that we have to have a map, and it means we have to have a fairly good idea already of where we are so that we can see the features around us and compare them to the right place on the map. Now this is going to find grid north rather than true north because we're going off the map. So here we have our highly accurate map, and there are various features that we can then compare to the ground around us. So we've got a picnic bench here that you can see there. We've got a bird feeder here, which is over in the corner over there. A tap here, which is to the side there. And all we're going to do is orient our map so that those things now make sense in the real world. So there's our bench in that direction. There's our bird feeder in that direction. Our tap over here. And we can check a couple of other things. We've got a fire pit, we've got various flowers, so we can be fairly happy that we are now orientated the map to the ground. So I can now look at the scale of my map, and I can see that north is going to be in this direction from my lovely scale of my map. So check that with the compass. Yep, we have now orientated our map, and we can find where north is without a compass.